Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to be making a Christmas card today, and I'm going to be using lots of different product from the mini catalog. So the mini catalog says July to December, which we do know lasts until January, right? So January 3rd is the last day that you will be able to order, excuse me, from the mini catalog. Get a drink of coffee. I have a little scratchy throat. So anyway, I am going to just show you some product in the mini catalog. I'm also going to use some other product from the annual catalog. But let's talk about what's in this mini catalog and what I'm going to be using today. Okay, so if you will turn to page... I love this stamp set. Love, love, love this stamp set. So I've used this in the past. It's called Christmas to Remember. This is a red rubber cling stamp set. It has 9 stamps in it. It's $22. Awesome sayings. Okay, Christmas sayings. I'm going to use that today. I'm also going to be using the designer series paper on page 45. And this is a beauty of the Blackberry Beauty, 12 by 12 designer series paper. So you do get the full 12 sheets, but it's $15 because it does have gold embossing in it. And so that's the extra price from $11.50 to $15. Okay, so we're going to be using some of that today. I'm also going to be using these adorable gold, on page 17, gold holly leaves. So you get 2 sizes, 15 of each size. You get 30 of these, and they're small, but they are adorable. And they're $7.50. So I've used some of them. These are the tiny ones, and they do have the veining in them, and they're very thin. So they're super easy to use on your cards and your scrapbook if you're like me and a scrapbooker. Okay, so those are some products from the mini catalog. I'm also going to be using some Forever Flourishing dies, which I have some pieces of those left over from another card. Let's use them up. I am going to be using the Label Me Lovely punch. Okay, I'm going to be using some gold metallic pearls. And I love these, so we're going to be using some of those today. I am going to be using, what other goodies? Well, basically, I think that's what the card's going to consist of. So let's get started today making this card. I don't want it to be too long of a video. So this is Rich Razzleberry cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it in half so that the card will fold nicely. Okay. You still want to use your bone folder. Where is my bone folder? It's here somewhere. Okay. Lost my bone folder. Well, I'll just make that work. I don't know where it went. Strange. Oh, here it is. Okay. Knew I had it. Okay, then I am going to start adhering small pieces of the designer series paper. So Blackberry Beauty Specialty paper. I cut strips. These are 3 inch by 1 inch. And I'm going to actually add these onto the card. This is, the cool thing about this is you get a lot of mileage out of your designer series paper when you do this. And these, since these are 1 inch, you need to put them fairly close together. Okay. So I'm going to make a very small little edge, which I like because it just, the cardstock can just peek through between them. Okay, so the length, cutting the length accurately is important. All right, so they line up. And I'm just using my Stampin' Seal here, so if you cut these 1 inch, look how perfectly they line up. Okay. And then I'm going to use a piece of Early Espresso cardstock, and this is a 1/2 inch. I could have used the Early Espresso ribbon that's featured in the catalog, the annual catalog, but it's a little narrow. So I thought, oh, let's just use some cardstock. Gives the same effect. So I'm just going to add this to the right at the top. Okay. Now I need to stamp my greeting. And I'm going to use some cinnamon cider cardstock. So this is an in color. And I'm going to use May This Be a Christmas to Remember and Cherish. And I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso ink. You're going to see how nicely this comes out. It's so warm. These two colors together are so beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this. I always stamp first and punch last because then I can easily line things up. And this is a nice punch. We don't have any circle punches anymore. Okay, so those are all retired. But this one is so lovely. Now I am going to put a piece on the inside of my card. And so I am going to put Friends Like You Make This Season Special. So I'm going to stamp that on my card stock. And again, I'm going to use the same Early Espresso on cinnamon cider. And I'm going to go ahead and put that inside my card now, so I don't forget. All right. So this is 5 by 3 1/4. So it gives you a nice border, nice edge. And I like that. I don't know why. I just like that on the inside of my card. Okay. Now I am going to adhere this to my card. But before I do want to add a few of these. So these were leftovers that I had cut out with my Forever Flourishing dies. And I've been using the heck out of these pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some of these off. And go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of my greeting. And then I'm just going to adhere a few. And I don't want a whole lot of that sticking out. I just want a little bit. Well, didn't put enough adhesive on there, apparently. Put it in the wrong place. There we go. I like it. See, that's a good way to use up scraps when you have scraps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just put some adhesive on the back. And I am going to use some of our Tombow glue, multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on some of these leaves, just to make sure that this adheres nicely to the card also. Oops, that went upside down. You know what that means. They're sticky on there. Cover up the sticky. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere this to my card. Okay, and now I get to use some of those leaves. Oh, love these. Actually bought 2 of these because why not? They're inexpensive, and I know I'm going to use these for a lot of my cards. Also, I am going to use them in my scrapbook. So I think I'll put one here. I'm just going to use 2. So there's 2 sizes. Trying to decide what size to use. I'll probably use a small one. And so they have those veins in them. Okay, so I want to make sure that the veins are going the right way. I don't like to be anal, but yet I need to be a little bit anal about that, because that's how leaves grow, right? Okay, oops. Hello. Let's make sure that sticks. I'm going to hold that for a second. And then I am going to use some of my gold metallic pearls, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. So I'm going to use 3 of these. I almost always go for the gold instead of the silver. I have so many silver and I have very few gold left. This is one. Okay, I'm loving it. And what else do I need in here? I have the inside done. You know what I could do? I could put a couple of these cute little leaves on the inside. Why not? Just to draw your eye to the inside. So I will use a small one and a big one. That is so cute. Now they are textured, so they take a second to dry. I hope I put enough glue on that. I think I did. So there's the inside of my card. Ah! Hello. Don't think I put enough glue in there. I think the wet glue works better, though, than, I don't know, than the adhesive. Maybe not. Close it and hold it. Okay, there's my card today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, could you please like, comment, or share the video so that I can continue making them? I love making them for you, and I hope that you're enjoying them. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.